Covington, Kentucky, 1999. 19-year-old Amanda Hornsby is having the worst day of her life. Her husband has just walked out on her after only 3 months of marriage. What's worse, before he left, he stole money from the fast food restaurant where she worked, leaving Amanda on the hook to repay the stolen cash.
She trusted him so much that she thought he wouldn't do something like that. But he did. It proved that he did. And, well, she had to pay a bunch of money back, and she never saw him again. At Burner, really Burner, you know.
It isn't the first time Amanda's been burned. Her parents died when she was 7, leaving her and her brother to be raised by an aunt.
They really took it pretty hard with their mom going. Really, really hurt them.
Now, coming out of a disastrous 3-month marriage, Amanda is alone again, and so broke she's on the verge of bankruptcy. After getting fired from the restaurant, she finally finds a job in a grocery store.
She got the job there because it was real close to home, and they liked her.
She quickly becomes popular among her coworkers.
Amanda was probably one of the nicest people that you'd ever meet in your life. Very easy to talk to, outgoing. You could be having the crappiest day ever, and you'd come in and talk to her for about 5 minutes, and you'd forget what she was even mad about.
And she was really an honest, good person. She was serious and had good work ethics and stuff. And she could take problems and solve them real quick, too. You know, she was good with people.
I think maybe come over a bit early and I'll make some food.
As Amanda settles into the job, a fellow employee catches her eye. His name is Woody Smith, and he works as a meat cutter.
She was asking all kinds of questions about him to coworkers, what kind of person he was, and asked if he had a girlfriend. And she asked about Woody, and he told her that Woody was gay. And she said, "Oh, he's not," and it was just a joke, you know.
Amanda is intrigued. Woody's 5 years older than Amanda, and unlike her ex, he's mature and financially secure.
As far as what attracted Amanda to Woody, in my mind, it was more probably stability. It was a way out of her situation. She wanted to be independent. She wanted to live on her own.
He owned his own house, and he had a nice vehicle, and she came from a real poor background.
But Woody doesn't date. He's shy around women, with good reason. When he was only 15, he got into some very adult trouble.
He went to a Christian school, and he got a girl pregnant, and they had a baby in May, and he turned 16 in February. And he went to work at a grocery store, and he helped provide for his daughter. But it didn't work out with them, and she told him that it was over, and a few weeks later, she married this other guy.
His ex-girlfriend moved away, and Woody now barely sees their daughter. The whole affair leaves him with a deep mistrust of women.
He didn't date. You know, I would tell him, you know, you need to move on and you need to get out, and he would always just have his friends over, guy friends, and they'd play video games, and then he was on a bowling lead, and he went skiing, snow skiing, and he'd play basketball with them.
After a few weeks, Amanda decides to ask Woody out.
Amanda made the first move, because Woody, he's shy until he gets to know you.
Amanda's charm slowly wins Woody over.
Have you been working here a long time?
Yeah, a little too long.
Soon, they're inseparable.
Well, she really was fond of him, very, very fond of him. And talked about him a lot, you know, that he was mature and he was good and he had his own house. And he certainly was honest, because she was watching for that, because she didn't want him to be another dishonest person. She found a peace with him, and they could talk, you know. She said he was the best thing that ever happened to her, and he'd say the same thing about her.
The relationship takes Woody's mother by surprise.
One of his roommates told me, said, I think he's fell in love. And I said, well, I didn't know he was seeing anyone. And they said, yeah, he hasn't came home for days. They were always holding hands and you know, and she was sitting in his lap and hugging him, and they were very in love.
After being wary of relationships for so long, Woody is finally ready to give up his bachelor life.
He told me, he said, if I bring somebody home to meet you, it'll be the person I plan to spend the rest of my life with. And he brought her to meet me. And then 2 weeks later, she moved in with him.
Okay, that's great. So when do you think that it will receive it by?
Financially, things are on the up and up. At work, Amanda is promoted.
Yeah, this week would be great if you can do it. Friday? Fantastic.
She worked her way up from just being a store clerk to being the assistant manager.
Then Woody finds a new job with a soft drink company. Although it brings better pay and better benefits, it also means long hours and working the night shift.
The hours were crazy. Like, he'd leave at like 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and then it was way up in Dayton, Ohio or something. And that put a strain on everything for them.
Especially when Amanda finds out she's pregnant. She'd like to marry Woody, but there's a problem. Amanda is still married, and by law, she can't get divorced while pregnant, even though she's separated and the baby is clearly Woody's.
She was with Woody, and no way it could have been nobody but Woody's baby.
Sadly, Amanda miscarries. This opens the door for a divorce. Woody pays for it and helps her get back on her feet financially.
He helped her get a divorce, and she had a lot of debt, and he helped her file bankruptcy. She filed bankruptcy.
Another pregnancy follows, and this time, Amanda carries to term. But when the baby is born, the young couple gets a shock.
She called me on the phone and just bawling, crying, and I said, I thought maybe the baby died when she was just crying and couldn't talk to me, you know? I said, is the baby okay? And she said, yeah, but he's got Down syndrome.
Woody's mother, Phyllis, helps care for their newborn son. This brings the women together, and they form a strong bond.
His mom and Amanda were really close. I'd like to say that she was closer to Amanda more than she was to Woody. Amanda was always down there helping her, and they were very close.
She was a great mother. Onyx was born Downs, and anything that they told them to do, they would do it, work with him in any way and to do what he needed to have done for him.
Parenthood suits them well. And after 2 years, Amanda is pregnant with their second child.
Amanda really wanted to have another kid because she said if something happened to her and Woody, she wanted to have him to have another sibling that would take care of him.
She and Woody finally decide to tie the knot. They get married out of state in Tennessee, but not for romantic reasons. Amanda has been claiming government benefits to pay for special care for their son. If the Kentucky government finds out she and Woody are married, she'll have to give them up. With her troubles behind her, Amanda Hornsby can now concentrate on raising a family with her new husband. But as Woody and Amanda settle into parenthood, something starts to bug her. Woody is less and less involved in family life.
Woody,
What?
can you come help me, please?
I'm busy.
They were having problems. She was complaining a lot about things that weren't getting done, and he wouldn't do this or he wouldn't do that, and he wanted to play video games all the time. And that was a big issue that she had.
Woody's disinterest becomes a major sore point.
Just help me clean this up.
I said I'm busy.
She was telling me at one point in time that he was just real, like, standoffish. He wasn't real family-oriented. He would stay, like, downstairs in his little room while she would be up there taking care of the kids and, you know, doing all that sort of things.
So I guess in a sense, she felt like a single mom if she had to do it all by herself anyway.
It gets to a point where Woody only wants one thing from her.
Amanda? Hey, you in here?
Whenever he felt like coming back from upstairs in the basement, he would,
I said, you in here?
you know, that's the only kind of interaction he really wanted from her was to have sex.
She starts sleeping in the children's room to avoid him.
She was just, you know, tired, working all day, dealing with the kids by herself, and then she just wouldn't feel like having sex, and she would go to the kids' bedroom and lock the door and sleep in there. And then it would escalate from there with them and stuff like that.
Open the door!
Amanda felt alone, by herself, kind of stuck with 2 kids, and not much attention from him, except for, you know, like one thing, and she wanted more. She wanted more of an emotional thing from him.
Stephanie, actually,
Given the grim atmosphere at home, Amanda welcomes attention from an unexpected source, a new store employee.
okay, thank you.
He recently had just graduated high school. He was in, I think, his first year of college.
David is 9 years younger than Amanda. She finds herself drawn to him. He has qualities that are sorely lacking in her husband.
He had plans for the future. He had goals set in his life. And I think that that's what she admired about him. He wasn't just wanting to be stuck in a small town.
You know, I'm really happy someone like you works here.
She was attracted to him because he paid attention to her. You know, he told her basically everything she wanted to hear. She liked him. She thought he had a fun personality. He could make the stupidest things be funny. David was just a jokester. He was always joking about anything, everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But at home, Amanda is careless, and it isn't long before Woody suspects something's going on.
Woody, one morning he got up and Amanda's phone was beeping, and he was gonna, you know, turn it off. And when he opened it up, it was a number and it was a text message. And when he hit it, it said, "Call me when he leaves for work."
Soon, Amanda is texting and taking calls from David, even in Woody's presence.
He said he'd be playing with the kids, you know, and she'd be walking off and texting, or she'd be talking to somebody on the phone.
Woody confronts Amanda with his suspicions.
Hey, who are you talking to?
Okay, bye-bye.
Who's that?
He said, "I think something's going on." Then she told him that he was hallucinating.
Woody,
Is it the same person, Stephanie?
She
We're
tells
friends.
Woody she's only chatting with her best friend, Stephanie.
Okay, what is this?
But Woody isn't
I'm
reassured.
just worried you're always on the phone.
You're imagining things. Of course, I'm always on the phone. I mean, I've got friends and I've
With a lot
got
of problems,
big...
obviously.
To find out more about the mysterious caller, he accesses Amanda's cell phone account.
He could go on the internet. He told me, "Mom, there were days that she had sent him like 80 to 90 to 100 texts in one day, and she's at work."
Woody decides to take a more direct approach.
Well, he got the guy's phone number, and he called him. And
Yeah, hi, who is this?
he told him they were just friends. And Amanda needed somebody to talk to, so they were just friends. And Woody said, "You know, I know better than that."
Amanda?
Yeah.
Just got a phone call.
From who?
David?
Faced with denials from both his wife and David, Woody doesn't know where to turn. Meanwhile, Amanda's feelings for David are getting stronger. She knows she shouldn't, but she can't help herself. Their friendship turns into a full-blown affair.
Amanda was married. I did not want her to put herself in that, that situation. And I felt that David wasn't ready. I mean, even if he wanted to be with Amanda, I don't think that he was ready for the responsibilities that, she had. It was a lot.
Amanda is willing to deceive her husband and risk her marriage for this affair. And what that tells me is that she's completely emotionally disconnected from her husband and that she's got some impulsivity issues, that she's not thinking about the long-term consequences of her behaviors.
She's not prioritizing the best interests of her kids. I think that when you put your family at risk, when you put your children's intact family at risk so that you can indulge something that would make you happy personally at their expense, it's arguably abusive.
When Amanda met Woody, he appeared to be stable and responsible and fun, and all of that kind of went away. And so she wants those things in her life, and she sees them in David.
Amanda becomes more and more reckless.
So he would walk down, and there was like a baseball field behind their house, and he would park there, and then he would walk through the back, and she let him in like the basement door.
David was infatuated with her. He liked to be around her. He would be around her all the time if he could have. But I think that just that alone just drew her more towards him. The only thing that she wanted was attention. She wanted to feel appreciated. She wanted to feel loved. I guess he promised her to the world, or, I don't know.
On Monday, May 4th, 2009, Woody and Amanda drop off the kids at school. Surprisingly, Amanda seems to be in a conciliatory mood.
She wanted to make up, and she wanted him to forgive her, and she loved him.
When they get home, they decide to make up properly.
Amanda, wanting to make up, wanting to give it another try, she actually said, hey, let's just do this. Let's try to work things out.
With his wife Amanda willing to reconcile, Woody Smith should be overjoyed. But when he arrives at his mother's to drop off the kids, he's clearly devastated.
What has she done, sweetheart?
She's done.
He told me, he said, Amanda said she wanted to make up. And he said she had me make love to her.
According to Woody, this brief reconciliation came to a swift and tragic end. After they dozed off, Amanda was awakened by an intruder and brutally attacked.
And he said the next thing he knows, he woke up beside her in the bed. She was dead.
Phyllis can't believe what she's hearing.
At that time, I was ballistic. I was just all kinds of things going through my head.
But for now, her concern is her son. She gives Woody a tranquilizer to calm him down while she calls Amanda's workplace.
I said, Phyllis, this is Stephanie. What is going on? And she said, Amanda's dead. Me and a coworker of mine, they made us go to the bathroom because we were kind of upset.
Just as Phyllis gets off the phone with Stephanie, there's a new crisis.
Woody! Woody! Oh my God. Woody! Sweetheart!
Phyllis dials 911, telling the operator that her son has collapsed and her daughter-in-law is dead.
Yes, could you? I need an ambulance, please.
Then I started having these thoughts go through my mind. Did he take something before he came here?
Woody is rushed to hospital. Police rush to Woody's home and discover Amanda's body. The scene immediately raises red flags.
There was no sign of an intruder. In fact, a lot of the furniture was still dusty. Tables that would have been in front of windows still had dust that was not disturbed. There was just no evidence that anyone else was inside that home.
It's enough to convince police that Woody is lying and that Amanda's killer isn't a mysterious intruder. but Woody himself.
Get off of me! Woody, stop it!
As night falls, Woody finally tells police what really happened. That morning began normally. Woody and Amanda returned home after dropping off the kids at school. But despite Amanda's best efforts, Woody couldn't let go of his suspicions.
He had been looking at his wife's phone earlier that morning. She found out about it and she got very mad. She told him that she would be leaving and that she would take the kids with her and he would never see them again.
Provoked by Amanda's threats, Woody flew into a rage.
He says he became very upset and angry, and that's when the fight started.
Amanda fought back, but her efforts were in vain.
She was tiny. She was 5'4". She didn't weigh much. And here is her husband, who is so much bigger than her.
She had no chance at all against Woody. He's a very, very large guy.
What he said was, we started fighting, and so I choked her to death.
With Amanda dead, Woody ensured his wife could never leave him. But in a macabre twist, he took it one step further.
So that's when he decided, I'm actually gonna tie her arms up. I'm gonna tie her legs together to make sure she doesn't run away, even though she was really already dead.
But it's what Woody did after killing Amanda that really convinces authorities of his guilt.
According to Woody Smith, Amanda died at about 9 a.m. on that day. He didn't call the police. He didn't get help. He merely covered her up and went about his day. He left Amanda laying in the bed, went and picked up his daughter, and brought her home.
Want some noodles here?
After he got home with his daughter, he fixed her lunch. He remembered that he made her noodles. He played with her. They watched cartoons. When his daughter asked, "Where's Mommy?" he said, "She's at work." This whole time, Amanda's laying upstairs, dead. Woody's actions suggested a lot to me. Number one, it suggested that he was very methodical. It indicated to me not only that he knew that he was in trouble, but it also indicated to me that he was trying to get his affairs in order before he turned himself in or called the police.
Amanda's lover, David, is profoundly affected by her killing.
David was devastated. David, I think, at first felt like he was to blame for it. I remember the day after it happened, David lived with me at the time. Me and him just sat on my couch and just cried, bawled. I mean, he took it pretty hard.
On September 20th, 2010, his trial begins in the town of Newport, Kentucky. And there's a surprise in store. Woody's lawyer argues that despite his client's confession, Woody has absolutely no memory of Amanda's death.
Woody's position was that he was so sleep deprived that he went into a psychosis, and that's why he had no recollection of anything that happened on that day.
Woody Smith steadfastly maintained he did not have a memory of the event. You might describe it as a partial blackout.
Woody's caffeine defense draws international attention.
That was what was unusual in the media, that was his defense, and that he actually was gonna go to trial and say that I was high on caffeine.
It's an uphill battle, especially when the jury hears his taped confession.
He's sending me to prison, and so be it. And I just want the court and everybody to know that I love my wife very much, and I will never hurt her. That's all I have to say.
Woody did testify at trial, and what really stands out is his complete denial of his statement. So what was interesting is on the stand, he heard his recording, and he even stated that, "I hear my voice and I recognize my voice, but that's not me. I didn't do it."
The jury doesn't buy it. Woody is convicted of first-degree murder.
So, they read the verdict. We were, I don't want to say ecstatic, but we were relieved. They served justice for Amanda. that he wasn't going to get away with it.
On October 20th, 2010, Woody is sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole for 20 years. He appeals his conviction to the Kentucky Supreme Court, but his request is denied. He still maintains his innocence.
I've talked to him alone, and I've told him, you know, Woody, I understand, you know, if you snap. And he said, Mom, he said, I went to counseling. He said, I've seen a psychiatrist. He said, I cannot remember. I don't believe that I would do that to my wife. He said, because I love her too much.